Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathens that look like the heathens. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And I'm profiling a video from one of my TikTok subscribers, StephKnuck. And I don't even know how, I think she may have subscribed to one of my videos, and then I checked in. And usually when people do that, I check them out. And she's a young brown sister with a voice like an angel, and I started watching her videos just to hear her sing, because she has a beautiful singing voice. But she showed me another side to her. She put up a video going in on this whole, well, I'm gonna play it. Let me see if I could pause it first. Yeah, and it says, tell the fake J's, we won't say that word, to move out and forget about the H thing that happened as they spend their reparations. So basically, she's making a complaint that they don't want us to complain about or talk about the condition of our people as a result of what happened to us, which in honesty, if you're just being honest, it's far worse. It was a 400-year, hundreds of millions of people, not just, a few million, but we're talking about, hundreds of millions of people from the time of, from the moment that Cristobal Colon, who the world knows as Christopher Columbus, his real name was Cristobal Colon. I have the records of his son's Diego Colon's lawsuit against the crown for monies he felt he was owed because of Christopher Columbus's discoveries. Which, I probably would do another video and produce those receipts. I haven't done that in a while. But what was done to and I don't know if she understands that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, respectfully are the true children of Israel, collectively, not because there's tares among them, all right? And plus those of our people that are scattered among all the heathens. Thus, the way I open every video, because that is a fact. So some of our people are going to come looking like other people. Quick receipt. I'm glad I have this one now. Maybe it's actually in the phone that I'm recording with. Let's just see. Did I actually put it in the evidence folder? Just to prove that point. There we go. Quick receipt. Become one of my favorites now. Because this young lady kept getting, accused of being a liar because she kept saying she was black. All right. There's no such thing as half. But nevertheless, she finally just produced a picture of her and her father who look identical. She's just pale and he's melanated. But so that's what I say when I say our people scattered among the heathen that look like the heathen. A lot of people are running around that don't look like us, that are us, and vice versa. You have to remember that. There's a lot of chocolate people who really got Edomite forefathers. Therefore, they're just chocolate-covered Edomites. We got some people that can't seem to grasp that fact that, the Bible clearly lets you know, history clearly lets you know that your father is determined. Your nationality, your race is determined by your father, not your mother. All right? The life starts in the sperm, and it's placed inside of a woman, and that woman brings forth life. And with the wicked being control of the world, they've scattered everyone and mixed and confused everyone. They've caused this ball of confusion, right? But to get that out the way, the sister made that video going in basically on Amalek. Let's pull it back up. And how they today still use that incident. Anytime you bring it up, they use it as a defense to demonize you. If you speak any truth about history, that matter of fact, I just watched a video with Elder Yashawamba going in on he was he was talking about Biden and what's his name, Benjamin Netanyahu, or we call Benjamin Netanyahu, going in on how they're getting ready to really push for this whole anti-Sem thing and really attack the Israelites, because that's what it's all about. All right. But guess what? You have a big portion of Christianity also agreeing with us all along and have been saying it all along. These white superiorist Christians, these Edomite Christians that subscribe to white superiority, that were like KKK type, the same type she's going to talk about, that were rape, robbing, and murdering us, all in the name of Jesus, all in the name of Christianity, that she's speaking about. They have always been against, the little hatters, right? The people that that fulfill the prophecy, the Edomites going into the land, into the Holy Land, which is in I believe it's in Ezekiel. Let me grab it, and then I'm gonna play her video. It's Ezekiel 36:5. Yep, Ezekiel 36:5. This prophecy, the people in the land now fulfilled this prophecy. All right, and it says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea." See, the Edomites. All right, you know that they tampered and tried to play with the Bible, because how did the Greek word find its way into the Old Testament? All right, just like the J word found its way into the New Testament and into the Old Testament, they put it there. The Israelites never referred to themselves as the J thing. All right, but it says, "Which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey." So they've confused this whole J word with Israel, and you have to learn actual history, right? There was a forced conversion by John Hyrcanus of a sect, a portion of Edom, not all of Edom, all right, because the Romans were Edomites. Okay, the Herodians, all right, the house of Herod, who were king over the Israelites, over the southern kingdom, the kingdom of Judah, of Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, were Edomites. All right, and hence the reason why they wanted to kill the Lord. All right, because he didn't want any other king. He wanted to remain in that position that he had been placed in, for he was an Edomite, and he might have actually been brown complexion, because if I'm not mistaken, his father had married, and his father had married one of John Hyrcanus's granddaughters. All right, so a lot of Edomite men were sleeping with and entering into marriages with melanated women at that time. They still do to this day, right? But nevertheless, they fulfilled the prophecy. They were forced to convert and follow the ways of the Lord, and that's where the whole religion thing, that I won't say the name, comes from. All right, and there's a difference between the religion and the actual and the law and the people who are of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There's a difference between the two. All right, so I read that prophecy once again, and then we're going to go to her video, and it reads, "Therefore thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their hearts, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey." The Israelites were casted out for a prey, and then the prophecy was fulfilled when the nation of Edom, all right, the sons of Amalek, who the war will have, war with from generation to generation, have gone into the land, and they're there now, and they're professing that they're the people, and they're not. And then they're demonized and making laws to protect this, instead of debating you with truth and evidence. Because if something was a lie, you just laugh at it and show the evidence of the receipts and make everyone look bad. Here's the problem. When you actually go into the researches and the studies, you find out that what we're saying is true. That's where the problem lies. All right. So that's why they just want to make it illegal, or jail time, or whatever they plan to do if you bring up these evidences. And that's practically with everything. Even what happened, between 2020 and 2022 for a period of time. Instead of facing the truth and proving you wrong, they just wanted to demonize you, all right, or just outright lie. But let's go to Steph's video. Let's pull it up now. And without any further ado, the sister StephKnuck. And I'm not going to show it because of what it says. I'm just going to play it. But it's on TikTok. All right?
Let me break this down for y'all with these stupid ass comments about move on. We're not still experiencing it. There's no reparations because there's nothing to give. Well, let me break this down. The effects are very real. For one, let me start with reparations. Reparations is not about just slavery. Are we forgetting we wasn't able to vote? Are we forgetting about Jim Crow? Are we forgetting about the chain gang? Are we forgetting about redlining? Are we forgetting about gentrification? Are we forgetting about all the freaking lakes that have black communities under them because of jealous white mobs? Are we forgetting about the hundreds of Tulsa's, Oklahomas?
Yes.
Are we forgetting about the prison system, prison pipeline? Are we forgetting about the crack era? Are we forgetting about the assassinations of our leaders that y'all now praise today? I know y'all would love to forget all the money you made off of slavery. All the money you made while we couldn't vote. All the houses.
Let me pause. And they're still living deliciously as a result of that.
Y'all inherited that was supposed to be ours. That y'all family still live in. I know y'all want us to forget about that. I know y'all want to forget about all the companies that still reap profits from racism as we speak. Are we forgetting that police began from slave patrol with black codes? And a lot of those black codes are our laws now? Why do you think that they patrol the black neighborhood the way that they do? It's not.
There's a testimony from a Edomite police officer, all right, saying that he was instructed to enforce drug codes and drug laws only in melanated neighborhoods, only in black and Hispanic neighborhoods. And it's true because white youth, pale youth, Edomite youth, and adults for that matter, are among the heaviest drug users. If you were to pull over a crowd of Edomites in a very preeminent neighborhood, in the wealthiest neighborhoods, and run through their backpacks, you're going to find all kinds of, marijuana and Percocets and all kind of pills. You're going to find it. They have a lot of drugs, but they don't get pulled over and bent over the hood of their cars and stopped when they're in crowds the same as they do to young black and Hispanic youth. They don't get the same treatment, and that's by design. Because if they did, they would have a lot more, they'd be filling up the prisons. Okay? But that's just what it is. And she's pointing that out, and they don't like it.
Just because there's crime in our neighborhood, honey, it's because that's how it's always been. We are the target. It's easiest. That's how they make their money. Because it's just enough crime in white neighborhoods like pedophiles, serial killers, and kidnappers, and meth houses and meth labs. Are we forgetting that a lot of the hoods that we live in were built during Jim Crow? Are we forgetting about the unemployment of blacks all the way up to now? Because white companies or businesses wouldn't hire us? Do you know the unemployment rate in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s? That's not far. What y'all telling us is so far, it's not affecting us. Where's the generational wealth from our black family? Where is that at? Are we forgetting about urban development? Where y'all come in and set up shop and kick us the fuck out? So yeah.
Gentrification is what she was talking about.
There will be no moving on. Because we still living in the shit.
That's right. She said there will be no moving on. And the Lord is not going to. And so with that, I'm going to go into this book on the screen. I was going to plan on going into it. So she kicked it off. So I'm going to go to, because there's a constant debate. Man, this book is heavy, and this is not even as big as the other 1933 one. This is from 1925. Same author, and this is the intermediate version. So, but it still hits hard. So I'm going to go to Yiddish, all right, to prove a point that gets argued all the time when when it comes to language, and the language of heaven, the language of the people of the Lord, and then how and the fraud that's been committed with the people who do it. What I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna put it before the screen so it can be screenshotted, and hopefully this video doesn't get marked hate. All right, because it isn't. This is just simple truth. All right, but to some people, truth is hate. But this is Yiddish, a kind of mixed German and Hebrew languages spoken by the Jays. All right, by the J-O-double-S's. All right, let's bring it into focus so that you can see it. Screenshot it. Let's let it wait for it to focus. It will eventually. Give it some light. Oh, there it is. All right, so you might want to screenshot that. So it says a kind of mixed, therefore it's not pure, and there's also Slavic in there too. They left that out. So, and they use the Assyrian script, right? The Assyrian script, the kingdom of Judah, the southern kingdom, all right, of Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, they were not in the Assyrian captivity. They wrote in, and you can check from the time periods when they were there, the time periods when they were all the activities of the Bible that took place in the New Testament that they make the movies about and that whole sort of thing. And from the time of John Hyrcanus, from the time of the Maccabees, they were using the Phoenician form of Hebrew. All right. You know, the ancient Phoenician or the Paleo Hebrew. They were not writing in the Assyrian script. So that is very suspect. Why? Because they couldn't change and add dots to the Phoenician, to the original. They couldn't change the sounds. That's what this is all about. All right. Now let's go to the J word. All right, and I'm gonna go back into this book again later, Lord willing, and go into some key words. And just the very definition of those words prove the lies that are pushed upon the people today. All right, this is too far. I should have pre-marked it. I didn't do that, so I could just turn right to it. But here we go. It says J-double-O. All right. An Israelite in religion, a follower of Judaism, in race, a Hebrew. All right. So once again, an Israelite, in religion, a follower of Judaism, making a separation. Two different things. All right. In race, a Hebrew. So it's letting you know that there is a difference between them all. All right. There's a religion, which is Judaism, and then there's a bloodline. All right. And Abraham was a Hebrew, not a J-double-O. Isaac was a Hebrew, not a J-double-O. Jacob was a Hebrew, not a J-double-O. All right. The 12 sons, the 12 patriarchs, were 11 of them were Hebrews. As well, actually, all 12 of them were Hebrews, but only one name was with the sound, which is is Judah. You can't call Manasseh, Reuben, Issachar, Zebulun, and Naphtali, Ephraim. You can't call them J-double-O's. They're Ephraimites. They're Manasserites. They're Reubenites. They're Benjamites. All right. So there's somebody's telling a lie. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash, Wow, Bob, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.